coronavirus officially hitting the U.S., here's what we know. A Washington State resident fell ill after returning.
Shalom, I give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Let give double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone. Salutations to all your sincere brothers pushing this word across the four corners of the earth. And this is an article from Fox13Memphis.com. And the title says, Hillcrest High School senior fatally shot just days before graduating. And this was published on May 4th, 2020. An 18-year-old woman just about to graduate from high school was shot and killed Saturday as she waited in a fast food drive-thru line. Fox 13's Winnie Wright spoke with her grieving family Monday at the scene of the crime. They told us this does not even feel real. Around 2 a.m. Saturday, Jolanda Wright took a break from work and called her daughter, and 30 minutes later, she was gone. My mom received a phone call from my sister's phone, said Brianne Sweat, Maya Taylor's sister, her best friend, was screaming. She could hardly understand them. The only thing she could understand was that Maya had gotten shot. It was a call every parent dreads, and instead of planning for graduation, they are planning a funeral. The crime scene tape was the only visible reminder at the McDonald's of what happened early Sunday morning. It still hung from the chain-link fence surrounding the parking lot. Maya was a really sweet person, Sweat said. She was really goofy. She did not take much seriously. Sweat said Taylor did not have enemies, but was just at the wrong place at the wrong time and with the wrong people. And really, that's just the act of Yahweh Yahushai, because he set that particular time frame for her to be at that particular location, and for that particular person or people who did the shooting, for it to happen the way it did. So this was all ultimately played out by Yahweh Yahushai for this particular moment, for her to be sent back to the spiritual realm. So that was her judgment. So it wasn't at the wrong place at the wrong time. And it says her friend said Maya, right before it happened, said, "Why is that car staring at us?" Sweat said. Her family said they don't know the boys who offered to drive Taylor and her friend to McDonald's, especially so late, but they believe they must have been followed and targeted. Just seconds before the shooting, Taylor moved from the back seat to the front passenger seat where the shooter pointed their gun. So right there, that's Yahweh Yahushai appointing those death angels to make that move, for her to move from the back seat of the vehicle to the front seat. Then moments after that, she got shot to death. So this is Proverbs, the 20th chapter and the 24th verse. Man's goings are of the Lord. In this case, it was a woman. How can a man then understand his own way? Because every step that we move in this so-called thing called life, Yahweh Yahushua direct every man's, woman's, and child's paths. And that links me up right with Proverbs, the 16th chapter, the 9th verse. A man's heart devised his way, but Yahweh Yahushua directed his steps. In this situation, Yahweh Yahushua directed his steps for this woman to go ahead, go to Mickey D's, and wait in the drive-thru, move from the back seat of the vehicle to the front seat, and get shot to death. And a lot of her family and friends and classmates are going to be questioning, why did this happen? But we ultimately know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahushua, this is nothing but judgment from a higher power. So you look into the word judgment from the Edemon online, and you go down to the point right here. It says, by 1610, as a divine allotment, event regarded as an expression of divine displeasure. So allotment is something like it's customized. So Yahweh Yahushua customized this woman's death from the beginning, how it was going to be played out in this situation, how she was going to be waiting in a drive-thru line for this so-called catastrophe that happened to her. So there was a divine allotment. So we already know divine means God-like or from God. And it says event regarded as an expression of divine displeasure, because Yahweh Yahushua is very displeased with 2/3 of the nation Israel, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans today. And I'm pretty sure being around in Memphis, especially with the brothers out there, a great millstone teaching downtown Memphis, she probably saw those brothers. And she could have made a scoffing remark or could have said something in her mind. I mean, I'm just speculating through the spirit. Who knows? But this is just nothing but judgment from Yahweh Yahushua. And to be honest, this is really a mercy kill, especially compared to the harsh times that we about to get ready to approach, which is Jacob's trouble. Right now, we are beginning in those initial stages of Jacob's trouble. But it's going to only get worse than this. And this is only proving the scriptures are true. How it says in Matthew, the 24th chapter, that the love of many should wax cold. And this is Wisdom of Solomon, the 17th chapter, in the first verse. For great are thy judgments, and cannot be expressed. Therefore, unnurtured souls have erred. So let's go into how great Yahweh Yahushua's judgments are. And another definition for judgment in the Free Dictionary, it said, a misfortune believed to be sent by God as punishment for sin. And that just to let you know, that's probably something she did in a past lifetime, and she's receiving judgment for it, or something she could have did this lifetime that displeased Yahweh Yahushua. And he sent that death angel to take care of business. So for great are thy judgments, and cannot be expressed. Why cannot be expressed? That's why it says in Deuteronomy, the 10th chapter, the 17th verse, for your Lord Yahweh, your power is a power of powers, and Lord of lords, a great power, a mighty and a terrible, which regarded not persons nor take a reward. So he doesn't care that she was about to get ready to graduate in a few more days. He doesn't care about nothing like that. If you're not right with Yahweh Yahushua, he's going to send divine judgment upon you. And that goes for myself as well. So for great are thy judgments, and cannot be expressed. Therefore unnurtured souls have erred. And that leads me to Sirach, the 42nd chapter, in the first verse. Of these things be not thou ashamed, and accept no person to sin thereby, of the law of the Most High and his covenant, and the judgment to justify the ungodly. So Yahweh Yahushua was completely justified by sending that death angel to put that spirit upon this particular individual or individuals to do that shooting. Nobody else in the car got hit but her. So that was divine judgment. So that was judgment to justify the ungodly. To the eyes of Yahweh Yahushua, she was ungodly to him. But now we know through the spirit that she's all right now. She's in her right mindset. And she's going to be back in the kingdom of heaven again. And last but not least, that leads me to Ezekiel, the 9th chapter, and 4th verse. And the Lord Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. So those angels are doing the bidding of Yahweh Yahushua. So that word mark in the Hebrew goes into the wa, which means a mark as a sign of exemption from judgment. So that's why we're going out there on the highways and byways as much as we can through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahushua, pushing his word out there in truth and sincerity, doing our weekly sit-downs, trying to be good brothers, edifying one another, building brothers up through the spirit of Yahweh Yahushua as much as we can, so we can be covered from that time of judgment that Yahweh Yahushua is going to bring upon this place America, known as Babylon the Great, according to the scriptures. That's why the spirit is upon us to fight for that crown. So we will have to be receiving no type of judgment like this, because this can happen to anyone, and that's supposed to put fear in you. So that's what those angels are doing. They are doing a bidding of Yahweh Yahushua to put that sign of exemption from judgment upon those sincere men, which are the elect of the nation of Israel, the ones that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. It's nothing but abominations and wickedness going on in this place, America, and really across the four corners of the earth, because Babylon the Great, America, has spread its influence across the four corners of the earth. So now these other nations are drinking that Babylonian wine. Verse 5, and to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eye spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. And that's just to show more proof that Yahweh Yahushua is going to have a very harsh judgment upon our people, especially the women of our nation. Because right here it says both maids. That's already talking about young women. Then further on it says, and women again. So that's going to be a lot of judgment on the women of our nation. The women of our nation that don't want to get with the program of Yahweh Yahushua, that want to follow the customs, the philosophies, and the fashion of this world, America. So therefore, they're going to receive a harsh type of judgment from a higher power, and that's Yahweh Yahushua. So it says slay early, old, and young, both maids and little children and women, as it says again in the book of Deuteronomy, the 10th chapter, that he regarded not persons nor taking rewards. He doesn't care that it's an old woman in a wheelchair or an old man that's crippled or a little toddler that's weaning off the breast. It doesn't matter to Yahweh Shai. He's going to bring judgment upon 2/3 of the nation of Israel. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and that's that same mark we read in Ezekiel, the 9th chapter, and the 4th verse, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they begin at the ancient men, which will be for the house. So we know that Yahweh Shai, he's about to get that true respect back on this planet Earth. That same respect that he had when he was called Alashaya, which means terrible demon-like power. So that same type of vibration is about to get ready to come back again. And these people going to witness the true power of Yahweh Shai and ourselves as well. So that's why it's important to just get right with the program, because the doors of mercy are slowly closing. So this is judgment on all-time high from Yahweh Shai. And that name is going to be expressed across the four corners of the earth. And he's going to get his true respect back as he deserves. So this was just a quick lesson for the brothers and sincere sisters that are adhering to the ways of Yahweh Shai. This particular woman that this happened to, or people just watching the news probably saying that's a misfortune or so-called bad luck. But really we know this is nothing but judgment from Yahweh Shai. So that same type of judgment that Yahweh Shai brought upon this female is going to get more increased and more intensified in the time of Jacob's trouble. So with that, I hope you all was edified. Shalom.
An 18-year-old about to graduate from high school is dead after someone shot her early Saturday as she waited in line at a fast food restaurant. Fox 13's Winnie Wright spoke with her grieving family today at the scene of this crime. Winnie, senseless. That seems to be the only way to describe what happened.
Well, senseless is the only way to describe this. Maya Taylor's family is living out their worst nightmare. They tell me what's going on right now doesn't even feel real.
My mom received a phone call from my sister's phone. Her best friend was screaming. She could hardly understand them. The only thing that she could understand was that Maya had got shot.
It's the call every parent dreads. Maya Taylor was shot and killed while sitting in the McDonald's drive-through line on Winchester Road in Whitehaven. The crime scene tape, the only visible reminder of what happened early Saturday morning, still hangs from the chain-link fence around the parking lot.
She was a really sweet person. She was really goofy, so she didn't take much serious.
Her older sister, Brianne Sweat, says Taylor didn't have any enemies, but was just at the wrong place at the wrong time and with the wrong people.
Her friend actually said Maya had, right before it happened, she had said, why is that car staring at us?
Her family says they don't know the boys who offered to drive Taylor and her friend to McDonald's, especially so late, but they believe they must have been followed and targeted. Just seconds before the shooting, Taylor moved from the back seat to the front passenger seat, right where the shooter pointed their gun.
Talking to people about, who are you into it with? Nobody wants to tell us, but you have to think about that could have been your son, and you would want somebody to help you to bring them to justice.
Now, the family says Memphis police have video showing the man responsible for this shooting, so I'm pressing MPD to release that video right now.